What up though, Jamba and hello. This is your boy Fryer coming back with another one. This is going to be my full tour of my Kingdom of Otopa. I kind of realized that I haven't given you guys the full tour and showed you pretty much everything, so this is that, We're going to start off at the front gate and we're going past the palace. I'll show you the palace kind of last since I already showed you some of the parts of the palace. We're going to pull up at the docks, and these docks are right here in my market area where I have my stands, fruit stands, flower stands, weapon stands, things like that. I use these light up signs to kind of advertise what the booths have. This one is probably going to sell some kind of food. This one sells fish, fresh fish. And then you have this one over here that sells, swords and things of that nature. Just different kind of weapons. And I always keep my storage like right there under it. I have a outdoor kitchen that's going to probably be cooking anything that's in this booth right over there. Now, like a lot of other builders, I also often get inspiration from different YouTubers. Shout out to two in particular, AfroForge and Khato Builds. This is an AfroForge fantasy house that he did that I, kind of copied for my abilities. I thought it would be perfect. This right here is my house of the hand. Okay, the hand is the second in command to the king. This is a hut, a mud hut that was done by Khato Builds, and I took the idea or inspiration from that and built this house behind it. I just kind of expanded it, took the same ideals, but just expanded it into my own thing. Now I just wanted to take you back to go inside the mud hut to just kind of see the interior. As you can see, it's somewhat spacious, but not very spacious. So what I did was I took this design and I just expanded on it to make it, livable spaces. I like to concentrate on building livable spaces. As you can see, I put the kitchen in, and this would be more suited to a family of, I don't know, like 4 or 5, I'm not sure, but however many need to. I'm gonna go upstairs and I'll play with this centralized heat fireplace thing. I'm gonna play with that a little bit more as I get more into it. This is the bedroom for, we'll say, the mom and dad or whatever. These are all the children's bedrooms. Maybe some older children over here, and even older, or just another adult over here. So that is how I kind of expanded that. Now this is my medieval stable. I did watch a tutorial on how to build this, but I went with a round top instead of the traditional square medieval top, just because that's kind of my style. And here I'm going to take you inside the stables. We start off in basically the storage house or the pantry where you can store, food or other accessories for your horses. And then you go upstairs to just a little common area, sitting area. As you can see, I like to blend the colors with some of these terracotta cutters. I really think it comes off well. I like this texture pack and the terracotta colors that comes with it. And then I'm going to go upstairs, and I decided to do this all in bamboo. I figured the bamboo and the purple just kind of work really good together. And this will be where your horse groomers would stay. And then I come down here and you'll see my horses. These are the royal horse stables. So I have copper armor, I've got gold armor, I've got diamond armor, because they gotta be a little bit special. And I repeat it just right over here. This is my first barracks, the black barracks. Here at my training yard. I'll take you through it a little bit. I have another video about that, so I won't get too much into this. But this is the little courtyard, and as you can see, there's several floors with balconies and things that you can look down on, and just space and area. I like to build with space and area, but you'll see that I kind of made some improvements on this in my new barracks, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm gonna go along the path and take you down here so you can kind of see some of my shops. This would be, it's gonna be my pottery shop. I haven't really done it yet, but I did complete the pottery forge back here. You just go outside and you pretty much create your pottery there. Some of this pottery on the bottom are supposed to be like representatives of that. This is my armor shop, or somewhat of my clothing shop. Pretty much I only have armor right now, so not much clothing. You just got armor, you got your gold, you got your iron, you got your diamonds. So it's a little place to shop for armor. Now I'm gonna quickly just take you inside some of these shops. This is pretty much my restaurant. We'll come and get a bite to eat or something. You see it has that mushroom top right there. I got my ovens, got my stoves, got all of that. Places for people to just come and eat, visitors and everything. Then I have my beverage shop. Okay, you have everything from beer to wine to, I don't know, pop or whatever people are drinking in the medieval times. Now, as always, everything that I'm doing is pretty much a work in progress. So, I'm just gonna put some more shops and more stands here. It's kind of like a market area as you go further and further into the kingdom. And this right here is your local inn or local tavern. Basically, it's a tavern slash inn. It's a place for people to stay that are not necessarily dignitaries and wouldn't rank a room at the palace or in the barracks or anything like that. So just a place for people that's coming in to visit. My kingdom is made up of a couple of different kingdoms. It's pretty much an empire, and as you can see, it's a full bar with complete with bar stools and different places for people to talk and meet and kind of do their thing. So yep, that will be your local tavern. Every kingdom needs it. Every town pretty much needs one at least. Now I'm going to come over here to my honeycomb village. I have a full tour of the honeycomb village and some of the build online on my channel. But basically, this is for a family, extended family. Say you have your mom, you have your sisters and brothers and siblings and things like that. One unit can serve a whole extended family. You have 6 houses to choose from, and then you have a common area. So that's 6 living spaces for whoever needs to be there. And then you have the common area where you come together and commune. You have I like the little floor I put in there. You have your kitchen area where people would cook and do everything, and then you have the common area up here where you would eat and just have conversations and just talk about life. I like the idea of being with family, of grandparents kind of being there to show the kids what's going on. I think we're lacking that in society today. And then I come over here and we have pretty much kind of the same concept, only built into a hillside. And this area is pretty much honeycomb shaped. If you kind of look at it from this end, you'll really be able to see it from the other side, but you can kind of see it from this side. I have it well camouflaged. It's kind of built into the hillside, doing my Frank Lloyd Wright thing with this, just blending into the area. Every one of these units comes with a greenhouse and garden beds, so you can kind of grow your own food. I'm big into growing your own food, hence Fresh and Fire. And then you come all the way through, you cut all the way through this mountain, and you come out on the other side, and you'll see all of these units. It's about 14 different units, top and bottom. So, nice little amount of space, a nice little village, I think. Families are living in different units. So now I'm going to come over here to the far side of my kingdom. My kingdom is ever expanding. This is a village that is more of a traditional African village. You have your beehive type formation, and then you have your beehive gardens or your honeycomb gardens. Or as you can see, I'm really into the honeycomb thing. Your families would stay in these mud houses around the big area, and then that would be kind of the common area for different activities, so this is a more traditional style, African village. I kind of copied my boathouse and put it over here. I'm going to use it for different reasons. I put a large porch on this one so that you can kind of see it or whatever. I'm going to put some more houses around here and some more things around here. This is still in my kingdom, but just kind of going toward a separate village. It's kind of between things. This one is another village that I'm building, that I've built, and it's the same kind of concept, but it's more of a traditional African village, taken from a concept. I gotta get the name of the concept, but this is just one of my villages. Because you can see look inside of here. Got inside one of the domes and go up here. It could be a living space, could just be a study space or whatever you kind of want it to be. I have a well over here, and I have a gardening system. I'm going to do a whole video on this gardening system. I'm kind of proud of it. But the honeycomb shape is one of the things that kind of repeat in my things. But as you can see, I have not finished many of these. Then you have little gates in the wall to kind of keep everybody out of your business. You got to do that because this is Minecraft, and eventually I do want this thing to go live, and you will have the mobs and everything like that you have to keep out. Now these are my tech domes, and these domes are pretty much used to kind of connect different things as different transportation systems, different tunnels that go through things. You'll see these all through my village, and as I stated before, this is an advanced civilization, but we're pretty much in medieval times, so we don't really want too many people knowing it. Eventually I'm going to cover all of this up and kind of blended it into the scenery so it's not so obvious that it is futuristic, even though I do have my observation center, which I'm going to leave just like that, just to add a little mystery to the kingdom of Otopa and the lore that goes along with it. So we got to be careful of the outside world though. So this is a bridge that I built. It's probably pretty much kind of like copying the main bridge, which I'll show you, but it just pretty much takes you into that territory, that faraway territory, which I am going to be building up. Got some blueberries on the side just so you can kind of, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, I believe, so you can kind of pick as you walk. It is a long bridge, and if you're going over there, you're pretty much traveling, so you got a little snack while you travel. Now we're going to see my Midland honeycomb village. This is the one I use for my templates. That's why it still has all the guidelines on it and around it, so I can properly and with somewhat ease copy it and paste it somewhere else. Of course, this is the observation center. I think some of you might have seen it before. If you're just tuning in, my observation center is the pretty much catalyst of what Otopa stands for and who we are, which will be, revealed slowly, not all at once. Another tech orb. This is the mainland tech orb. First one I built and kind of the model for all the rest of them. Now this is going to be the Great Hall. I'm not finished with it, but it is coming along like I like it. This will be where the main events happen, all the tournaments and things like that, and all the feasts and marriages and stuff like that happen, all the diplomatic things that you need a great hall for, basically. This would be the Citadel Tower. Now, this Citadel Tower is going to house a lot of different important figures in my kingdom, such as my master builders, my teachers, my students that are learning to be what we call jollies or griots. So basically your scientists, your physicians, your mathematicians, your engineers, everybody will be getting educated. It's basically the university of my kingdom. Knowledge is very much valued in my kingdom. As a matter of fact, manuscripts are an actual currency in my kingdom, and you have to be something. There are different levels that you can aspire to. You have the blue house, the red house, and then the white house means that you've mastered your skills, and I'll show you that in another video. Now we're going to head over to our main gate bridge. This is the main entrance that people will come by sea into my kingdom. So outsiders will have to pass this gate. So anybody that's trying to crash this gate, we have a couple of different defenses, as you can see. The first one is this gate, you got to lower it to get in. Then you have this little, I don't know what you call that, murder log, I guess. So, that will kind of stop anybody from doing anything. And if they have got past that, then we have our murder holes, which will drop hot lava on any ship that dares to breach our gates. And since boats were made of wood back in those days, think it'll do pretty much damage to probably stop them in their tracks. So that pretty much wraps up part 1. Join us for part 2. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.